I was talking to my friend Margaret the other day. Lovely woman, sharp as a tack, and she said something that really stuck with me. She laughed and said, "Some days I walk into a room and forget why I'm there, and other days I forget where I put my glasses while they're on my head." Sound familiar? Chuckles. If you've ever had one of those moments where your memory feels a little foggy, you're not alone. But here's the good news. Just like we stretch our muscles or take a walk to keep our bodies strong, there are simple. Studies show that staying mentally active can slow down memory decline and even reduce the risk of dementia. What does mental exercise look like? It's not about cramming for a test or solving rocket science equations. It's about small, consistent habits that challenge your brain in fun, manageable ways. Ready to try the first one? Let's start with something you might already love. Puzzles. Crosswords, Sudoku, jigsaw puzzles, even that daily word scramble in the newspaper. These aren't just games, they're brain workouts. When you tackle a puzzle, you're forcing your brain to think critically, recognize patterns, and solve problems. It's like lifting weights for your mind. And the best part? You don't need to spend hours on this. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day can make a difference. Try keeping a puzzle book by your coffee table or download a brain training app. Whatever feels fun and low pressure. The key is to make it a habit, like brushing your teeth. Before you know it, you'll feel that mental muscle getting stronger. Now, here's the second exercise, and it's one you might not expect. Conversation. Yep, talking to people. Whether it's chatting with a neighbor over the fence, calling a grandchild, or even debating the plot of your favorite TV show with a friend, social interaction is powerful for your brain. Why? Because it requires you to listen, respond, and think on your feet. It's a full brain workout. Plus, laughter and connection release feel-good chemicals that reduce stress, which, let's face it, is terrible for memory. If you've been putting off joining that book club or skipping weekly coffee with friends, reconsider. Your brain thrives on those moments. And if you're feeling isolated, even a quick phone call or video chat can work wonders. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but what if I've never been a puzzle person? Or I'm not exactly a social butterfly? That's okay. The goal isn't to force yourself into something you hate. It's to find what clicks for you. Maybe, instead of crosswords, you'd enjoy learning a new recipe. Following step-by-step instructions? That's a brain exercise. Or perhaps you'd rather journal about your day. Writing forces you to organize thoughts and recall details. Another fantastic mental challenge. The point is, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Start small, stay curious, and celebrate the little victories. All right, we've covered two simple but powerful ways to keep your memory sharp: puzzles and conversation. And guess what? The next three exercises are just as practical, and maybe even more surprising. Grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's keep this conversation going. My neighbor, Frank, he's 78 and still rides his bicycle every morning, told me last week, "I thought my brain was done learning after retirement. Turns out I was just warming up." Isn't that wonderful? And he's absolutely right. Our brains are hungry for new experiences, no matter our age. Let's keep that momentum going with the next two exercises. These might surprise you. They're not just good for your memory, they're downright joyful. Let's get started. Exercise number 3. Learn something new. Now, I'm not talking about memorizing the periodic table or mastering quantum physics. Think smaller, simpler, and fun. Maybe you've always wanted to try watercolor painting, bake sourdough bread, or even figure out how to send a text message with emojis. grins. When you learn a new skill, you're creating fresh neural pathways in your brain, like carving a new trail through a forest. It keeps your mind agile and curious. And here's the secret. It doesn't have to be perfect. The goal is to try. My friend Clara took up gardening at 72, and now she grows the juiciest tomatoes in town. Did she have a green thumb before? Not at all. But she embraced the mess, the mistakes, and the magic of starting over. That's the spirit. Maybe you've got an old guitar collecting dust in the attic or a language app on your phone you've been meaning to open. Give it 10 minutes today. Strum a chord, say bonjour to your cat, or sketch the view from your window. It's not about mastery. It's about lighting up parts of your brain that haven't been used in a while. And who knows, you might discover a passion you never knew you had. Now, let's talk about exercise number 4. And yes, this one gets you moving. Dance, or walk, or even, pauses dramatically, chair yoga. Wait, don't click away. Laughs. I promise this isn't about becoming a marathon runner. Physical activity pumps oxygen-rich blood to your brain, which helps grow new cells and strengthens the ones you've got. But here's the twist. Pair movement with music or rhythm, and you've got a double whammy for your brain. Dancing, for example, forces you to coordinate your body, remember steps, and feel the beat, all at once. It's like a symphony for your neurons. You don't need to sign up for a Zumba class unless you want to. Put on your favorite song from the 60s and sway in the living room. Try Tai Chi at the park. Even marching in place while watching TV counts. The key is to get your body and brain working together. My cousin Edna started doing 10 minutes of gentle stretching every morning to big band music, and she swears it's why she remembers her grandkids' birthdays now. Winks. Coincidence? I don't think so. Now, I can already hear some of you saying, but what if I'm not mobile enough? Or I've never been coordinated? That's okay. This isn't about performance, it's about participation. Seated exercises count. Arm circles count. Even clapping along to a song counts. The goal is to move in a way that feels good for you while giving your brain that extra boost. And if you stumble or forget a step, laugh it off. Laughter's good for the brain, too, remember? All right, we've covered learning new skills and moving with purpose. 2 more tools to keep your memory sharp as a tack. But I've saved the most relaxing exercise for last. It's something you can do in your pajamas with zero equipment, and it's scientifically proven to protect your brain. Curious? Let's keep going. Have you ever sat by a quiet lake, watching the water ripple under the sun? That stillness, that calm. It's not just good for the soul, my friends. It's medicine for your brain. And that brings us to our 5th and final exercise to keep your memory sharp. This one's so simple, you might not believe it works until you try it. Exercise number 5. Breathe. That's right. Taking a few minutes each day to sit quietly, close your eyes, and just breathe. Scientists call it mindfulness or meditation, but you don't need fancy terms. Think of it as giving your brain a spa day. When you slow down and focus on your breath, you're reducing stress hormones like cortisol, the ones that can fog up your memory like a dusty windshield. And here's the magic. Studies show regular meditation can actually increase the gray matter in your brain, the stuff responsible for memory and learning. You don't need to sit cross-legged on a mountaintop. Start with just 5 minutes a day. Sit in your favorite chair, set a timer, and focus on the rise and fall of your chest. If your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring it back, like guiding a curious puppy. No judgment, no pressure. My dear friend Arthur started doing this after his wife passed, and he told me, "It's like I've cleared the clutter out of my mind. I remember things now, little things like where I put my keys, and big things like her smile. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but I've never been good at sitting still. Trust me, neither was I. When I first tried meditation, I lasted 2 minutes before I started mentally planning dinner." Laughs. But that's okay. It's not about perfection. It's about showing up. Even those 2 minutes count. And over time, you'll find it gets easier. Your brain will thank you for the peace, and your memory will thank you for the clarity. If sitting still feels tough, try pairing your breathing with something gentle, like sipping herbal tea, listening to nature sounds, or even knitting. The rhythm of your hands can anchor your mind. The goal is to create moments of calm in your day, little oases where your brain can recharge. Before you know it, you'll notice those "where did I put my" moments happening less and less. So, let's recap, because I want you to walk away feeling empowered, not overwhelmed. First, puzzles and games to challenge your thinking. Second, conversation to spark your social brain. Third, learning something new to carve fresh neural paths. Fourth, movement paired with rhythm to energize your body and mind. And fifth, mindful breathing to clear the mental clutter. Together, these aren't just exercises. They're celebrations of what your brain can do at any age. Now, I can already hear some of you saying, "But what if I'm not mobile enough?" Or, "I've never been coordinated." That's okay. This isn't about performance. It's about participation. Seated exercises count. Arm circles count. Even clapping along to a song counts. The goal is to move in a way that feels good for you, while giving your brain that extra boost. And if you stumble or forget a step, laugh it off. Laughter's good for the brain, too, remember? All right, we've covered learning new skills and moving with purpose. 2 more tools to keep your memory sharp as a tack. But I've saved the most relaxing exercise for last. It's something you can do in your pajamas with zero equipment, and it's scientifically proven to protect your brain. Curious? Let's keep going.